Hey everybody, I hope you guys are all doing okay. Welcome back to Let's Play Siralim Ultimate. In this episode, we are going to be creating a new party. A blight party. A better, stronger, potentially even faster version of the blight party we have right now. And it's going to take a while because I'm not sure what the final iteration of the build will be. That will only be determined when we actually go into the realms and we see what works, what doesn't work. For now though, we've got to start out by doing some fusions. First of all, I'm just gonna you know what? Let's fuse our creatures first. We're gonna start out by fusing our mimics with our what are they called? Gen Arcanomancers. And when I say our mimics, we didn't farm any mimics recently, but we have lots of them specifically for situations like this. We'll start. Actually, do we want it to be a life creature? Do you want it to be a sorcery creature? I don't think that matters. I'll fuse it with the... I'll fuse it with the Gen Arcanomancer. We could also fuse it with the Wisp Watcher, because we need both of these traits. I think it's better to have them be sorcery creatures. I think there might be better synergies, but that's the first step. Second step is going to be to give them the trait material for the Gen Watcher via their artifact. So we'll do this. I mean, I guess this is pretty good. And we'll do that again. We need 3 of these. Where is it? Oh, it's close to the beginning, the Jinn Arcanomancer. We probably won't need 3 of these. The reason I'm putting 3 of them is because we might run into creatures with damage caps, specifically the protected elites or the champions who you can't kill all of in the first turn. But we'll start like this. Alright, so the goal is gonna be to get our main damage dealing creatures sorted out first. Then we will start assembling our damage dealing synergies. Okay, there's that. It doesn't really matter. Okay. Now we will just deposit all of these creatures. And we will withdraw our newly excuse me, our newly fused mimics. The ones fused with the Jinn Arcanomancers, which is these 3. Yeah, not the leveled up one, but these 3. I wish it would stay on that page so I could take those ones out as well. We'll take those. This trait is going to allow us to cast spells without consuming spell charges. Which is going to be important just to make sure we're not wasting spell charges as we're fighting additional enemies through the realms. Now we need to give these guys some sort of artifact. Doesn't really matter what artifact we give it, as long as it has a artifact, it has a trait slot. I guess it kind of matters. Different artifacts do different things. I don't want to complicate the build too much, right? So we'll do it like this. We'll just forge I don't know, we might not even put anything in the spell slot. I'll just forge staffs, I guess. Because we're not going to rely too much on the free actions you get from your artifacts. But because they're sorcery creatures, I guess let's just give them 3 staffs. And let us equip these 3 staffs on you, on you, on you. Now, do these guys have you know what? I should have given them the artifact that gives them a health bonus, but whatever. These guys aren't the ones who need health. The guy who needs health is going to be somebody different. So what we're going to do is we're going to socket. Oh, you don't have anything. You know what? Let's do this properly. Let's do the artifact that improves health. Let's just give them all helmets. Because their intelligence is going to be completely not necessary. So we'll do it properly. We'll give them an artifact that could potentially help us out in the realms, as opposed to one that literally does nothing for us. Now we gotta upgrade these artifacts, and honestly, we've got enough brimstone that we might as well just go all the way. Now we have our trade slot, but I'm gonna go all the way to level 50. I'm not gonna get the nether stone upgrade, because that's a lot of I mean, I've got 76 million, so it's not like we're running out of brimstone, but still, I'd rather not waste it if I don't need to. I do like how the icon changes as you upgrade it, and it turns into a nastier and nastier looking helmet until you get this final version. Pretty badass. And in its stat slots, I guess if we are going with this, we just give them health. Just give them health. Could give them. What was the health? This was the health. This was the health. 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 And I guess in your trick slot we can have the armor scrap. And I'll hold out for what I want to put in the other trick slot. I could just do something a little bit. Let's keep our options open, right? So give you damage reduction as well, just to make sure that we have a bit better survivability. Now the damage dealing portion of this build is going to be based around fermented hops. So we're going to need those spell gems. We're going to need 3 of those. And where are they? There they are. We're going to give them sorcery transformations. And we need 1 guardian force. Just to farm some defense. Right? Sounds good so far. Oh no, you're the one who upgrades spell gems, so we will do just that. Where are our... there they are. I could just... again, apologies for the coughing. I don't know, like... I feel like half of my friends are sick and they all have the same thing. Everybody's just coughing all the time. I was actually later today, tonight I guess. I was supposed to go to a concert, but well, like with two other friends, but we're all sick. None of us could go. the the WhatsApp group chat was such a clusterfuck because we were all so apologetic. We're like, "Oh, sorry guys, I can't make it. Hope you have a good time." And then the other guys are, "No, I'm the one who can't make it. You have a good time." But then we're all sick. None of us, none of us can. Nobody can have nice things just because of whatever the hell is going around. Anyway, let's not hang on, what? Why do two of our guys have 35 and one of them has a million? Oh, it's because he's leveled up. Okay. He's leveled up? Is that... Have I taken the correct one? Did I... Did I steal this mimic? Hang on, let me save my... let's call it... let's call this... Blight Party V2. Or just Blight Mark II. Where's the... And it has these three creatures. Let me make sure I've gotten the correct mimic. And if I switch to the Blight, the original Blight part, it is the same mimic. It is the same mimic, isn't it? You know what? It doesn't matter if one creature is shared between the two parties. Honestly, it's more efficient to do it that way, right? Because the game just lets you swap pretty freely, and if you have a whole different set of creatures when one of them could be in two different parties, you're actually... it's not that you'll run out of space or anything, but just, the computer programmer side of me that enjoys keeping things neat and without unnecessary redundancy is enjoying the fact that one creature is in two different parties. Okay, so now let's level up the creatures. Oh, I understand what happened. We leveled up the mimic, but then I was like, why is he at such an odd level? He should either be level 1 or he should be at our max level. But what happened was we leveled him up and then we fused him, I think. With the Djinn. Okay, so now we need to sock it into our artifact trait slot. First of all, I have made a list of most of the trait materials that we need. So let me just see. So one trait we need is called either patience or it's called a virtue of patience. Oh god, what? Or is it just patience? It's whatever it's whatever the Wisp Watcher has. That's not it. That's not it. So let me go to the bestiary. Let's find... I noted all of this stuff down, but sort by race. I need the Wisp Watcher. Spasm. Oh, for some reason I just forgot to put that in my list. And the material is called the Watcher Phylactery, so we gotta add it in like that. I guess it was such an obvious trait that I thought I'd remember. And we all know what happens when I try to rely on my memory. It generally doesn't work well, and the vicious cycle is my goal is to remind myself not to rely on my memory, but I can never remember to do that. So how do I escape this loop? Bit of a riddle, actually. Bit of a conundrum. But you know what? We'll muddle through. We'll get through. Now, with just this, that this party is good enough to do quite a bit. I also have to put Guardian Force on the first one. So we got to enchant our spell gems. So our empty fermented hops are gonna get a just like extra healing and class swap sorcery. Extra healing, class swap sorcery. Yeah, I will make them generous as well. The other option is to have them cast twice. Maybe they don't need to be generous, but so this one. We got it. So these ones are just needed, right? And then for the third one, we'll make it cast twice. We'll see how it goes. Now with just this, well, we got to actually equip our spell gems. Oh, these were the new ones that we made, and I hang on. Why can I not equip them? Well, because you already have to. You already have the. You already have the correct spell, and in fact, you even have the Guardian Force that I needed. Okay, so where is fermented hops? Now I'm gonna go into a realm, and we're probably gonna get killed instantly. But my goal is to just see if things are working so far before I start adding new creatures in. Okay. Okay, so, and we also need to give these, assign the fermented hops macro. And strategy has to be macro as well. We've got a... Now let's see if we can get through this realm with just this. The goal, of course, is going to be to get our blight strong enough that we're ideally killing things in one hit. But that could take a while to get. I'm not going to do any candle summoning yet. No candle summoning yet. Next thing I think I'm going to do is I'm going to put Friden in my party instead of Reclusa, because rather than get extra spell triggers, I'd rather make the spells stronger. That'll help us kill creatures that we would normally not be able to damage. Because if you cannot damage someone, attacking them more often isn't gonna really help you. Right, like these guys, for instance. If our spell damage was higher, then we would be in a much better position. Ooh, we've completed the realm quest, but we need to kill the master. There's a chance, depending on who the master is, that we might die to the master. And that it would be unfortunate. Do we need to kill a treasure golem? Is a very good question. No, we don't. Well, here goes nothing. Demigods should be doable. I have no idea what happened. Maybe nothing happened. But, okay, so far this party is working. With only 3 creatures, this party, if it has the right enemies to fight, is able to do some pretty good stuff. Now what we do is, go to our realm. No, we go back home. Now we summon Friden. Yeah, because this is gonna allow us to take one of our anointments off. And that's gonna be huge. So with Friden in our party, he's also gonna get 2 extra traits on top of that. So, oh, we got 2 Fridens. Yeah, I guess I summoned all of the avatars one time when we were doing the Gate of the Gods. But you know what? We have a backup Friden. First thing we gotta do is we gotta... Because we've changed the party, we gotta assign this to Blight Mark II. So this party now has Friden in it. Friden needs a couple traits. We need chronic illness and aggravated illness. So I guess I noted down the traits. Maybe what I should have done was noted down the trait materials. So for chronic illness, chronic affliction? Oh, I wrote the wrong... I wrote the wrong thing down, but I had the right idea. Chronic affliction has... it requires the recruiter hook. Okay, that's good. And What was the other one? Some aggravated illness. So recruiter hook, and now we need aggravated illness right on top. Enemies take more damage from blighted. This is probably the more important one. So lugubrious hook and what was the other one? Lugubrious hook and recruiter hook. Lugubrious hook and recruiter hook. Actually, no. One of them has to be via fusion. Only one of them can be via artifact. So lugubrious hook, recruiter hook. Well, let's give them an artifact first. We're just gonna give them all helmets. We're gonna upgrade this helmet. Where's our new helmet? There. I think we should do our fusion first, just to make sure I'm not missing out on anything. So I'm gonna fuse Friden, sort by class, and we need sea shamblers, I think, right? Oh no, we need to summon them first. Excuse me, sorry for all the coughing, but what are you gonna do? So is it sea shamblers or now I'm messing with myself. Yeah, it is. So we need to put so we'll get actually no, we need this one as well. You know what? Rather than taking the one that causes blight to trigger twice, let's first put on the one that just increases blight damage. So more blight for each debuff. And the other one is going to be via well, first let's do the fusion. Then we'll do the socketing. So we do it like this. Fuse Friden with our Shambler Benefactor. And ooh, I really like this color scheme. I like it because it preserves the color of the hat and the shoulder pads. And the sword, and just gives him a different color scheme. Really, really nice. Let's confirm that this is still... that he's still in our party. So I think we're gonna have to update our party. So assign this... just to make sure that the fusion didn't do anything. So let's level him up now. And let's give him his artifact. What? No, I just want items. So equip this on you. And we'll give you the usual things to socket. sorry, socket with just health, damage reduction, and for the trait slot we needed a lugubrious hook, I think. How do you spell this word? Lugubrious hook? Yeah. So now I'm gonna take them out for another spin. I haven't even given Frighten any spells, because that's... his role isn't to be a spellcaster, his role is to just make our blight better. Alright. We've got to cleanse a portal. This is going to be a tougher battle. So this is going to be our first real challenge. Uh-oh, uh-oh. Why are they not taking damage? Was it... This went better. Oh, excuse me. So now we do extra... Okay, I'll I'll take that. That's a horrible spell to have happen every turn, but sure. So let's see what happens when we go inside this portal. It's feeling kinda good, isn't it? It's feeling kinda good, but there's one thing missing in this build. And I think for creature number 4, what we're gonna do is we're gonna have the we might just take the same Siren Beguiler that we had in our previous party. Again, the whole concept of keeping things simple. And if one creature is good for 2 different builds, then you know you just do it. I might just hand in this Rune of Prophecies like this. Yeah, you know what? Let's not worry about that right now. Let's focus on just this this party. So for my last creature, for my last trick, we're gonna be doing something really funky. It might completely backfire. Ooh, one thing we can do is we can take World Breaker off. Always have blighted. No, what was that? Hang on. Yeah, we don't need always have blighted. We do need more damage from blighted. Now this could be interesting. Your creatures with blighted ignore the effects and deal more damage. Well, we don't have blighted, but you know, let's no, we don't need Fall from Grace either. I think we stop boosting our blight and we try to add in a secondary way of doing damage, which is going to be via Voracity. Yeah. Via Voracity. So the third creature, we're gonna just have where have I gone? I've gone to the wrong place. The third creature is just gonna be... Where am am I going? This is not where I need to be. The third creature is going to be the same Siren Beguiler that was in our previous party, if I can see where she is. I don't need to confuse enemies. So maybe we put somebody different. Because, spoiler alert, the last creature I'm gonna have is gonna be the Chinook Rook. This is gonna be a crazy, you might think I'm crazy for doing this, and I wouldn't blame you, but it's maybe we don't even need the Chinook Rook, to be perfectly frank. Let's how do we do this? Let's, because the traits that I need are just indirect damage reduction. You know what? Let's see what sort of damage we do by just punching people. Is Vlora immune to indirect damage? Is Vlora immune to indirect damage? She probably is, isn't she? Just being a terrible person. At the end of each enemy's turn. Okay. Its highest stat, okay. Let's see what happens if we fight Vlora, right? Let's just... This is gonna be a real sort of limit test. Because Vlora's probably gonna kill us. The key is gonna be... Can we do enough blight damage? Like, what... Excuse me. The key is gonna be, what is the order of operations in this battle? Who does what when? Because if we can take 2 shots at her, we could kill her. But if we... If she starts getting frisky, then... Then we're gonna have a bit of a problem. Yeah, because we need to kill her on, like, turn 1. Because all of our creatures take that damage if she is allowed to have her way. You know what? I think there's an easy way to fix this. It's such an easy way that I'm a bit angry at myself for not doing it before I came to this round, but you know what? You live and learn. Let's try and find the buried treasure before we probably die against Vlora. Before we probably get horribly massacred. Okay, so we'll ask this. Kingdom of Heretics gone Furian. Just break some stuff. And let's continue. Flora's crying. And... well. Well. I must admit, I must confess, this is not what I was expecting. There's something... Why are you... hang on, why is this creature not casting... I think the spells might be in the wrong order, so we need to change it a little bit to make sure that God, excuse me. Sorry. Again, sorry for all the coughing. We need to change it so that I think Guardian Force is on top of... Where's fermented hops? And instead of it being generous, we're just going to make it cast twice. So I'm going to disenchant both of these, actually. And we're gonna... excuse me, sorry. Make it cast twice. Oh god. Sorry for all the coughing. It's just a whole... It's a whole thing. Wait. Did I not... I guess we'll start a new assassination. We were on mimics. Where are grimoires? Liches. Got this. Now we'll get a gift mimic. And we'll just we'll just do whatever. I'll just start an experiment. Let's go for it. And now, there are other things I want to put in my party. There is a phase warrior. Yeah, phase warrior. So let's summon a phase warrior. Oh, yeah. I wanted to check. Let's just jump into a new round to check this. I wanted to check. Do they... Like, I'm gonna have to fight a creature that survives one turn. Which, might be hard to make happen. The other reason we need 6 creatures in our party is so that Guardian Force... There we go. So, if I attack you, it's enough to kill. Okay. So now I need to get into a sort of boss fight situation, and I need to see... If I do this damage, then... Is it gonna be... equally good? Yeah, let's get into this mini boss area. Oh no, it's percentage damage, so it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You know what? I know exactly who to summon. The bane of our existence, the Pumpkin King. So that is a golem type creature. I need to see... Because I'm adding a secondary way of doing damage, which is by attacking. Golem, right? I guess I should have waited until after I fought the Master to do this, because these guys might just kill us. Except they won't. I'll be honest, I was kind of relying on them to survive our blight. But interestingly, they're not. How do I get into a... How do I get into a fight? I guess I could just take fermented hops off and go into a realm, but that's not a an intelligent way to do things. Yeah, so let's not get into unnecessary combat. Let's just find this master. Let's finish this realm, and you know what? You know what's going to be a good way to do this? It's going to be Saint Althea. We're going to take this party and we're going to try and fight Saint Althea like a bunch of like a bunch of absolute maniacs. Who are you? Void Lord? This could be... Yeah, see. We do decent damage, but we don't really have the firepower to hit hard. You know what? And now that I'm thinking about it, a Tanokruk would be the wrong creature to have in our party. Because it would it's just too risky of a strategy because it kills all your other creatures and then it becomes stronger, but what if you needed one of the other people to still be around, right? Right, so what did I say I was gonna do? Let's head back home, hand in this project, and see what else we need to put in our party. We're gonna put in the Phase Warrior, the one that reduces indirect damage. That's gonna be important just in case somebody turns our own blight against us. Especially given how high our health is. So let's go to our summoning circle. Phase Warrior, right? Yeah. This is gonna be one of our defensive creatures. Where are the Phase Warriors? Exotic, Grimoire, Phase Warrior. Okay, so it's gonna be the one that creatures deal more. That could be actually an interesting thing, but just no. We're just gonna take Endurance Aura. We're gonna take Endurance Aura, and yeah, we'll withdraw the creature. Should have an exclamation mark next to it. No? Maybe not. Am I? Phase Paladin. Sorry, Phase Paladin. What? Did I summon the wrong one? Is it at the... Hang on a second. Hang on a second. What did I do? Where are the Phase Warriors? Yeah, it's the guy who has Endurance Aura. Oh, was it? Hang on a second. Am I sorting these? Some other... Hang on, it's... I'm sorting them by race. So where the heck... Did I... Do I not have... Hang on a second. Because I just summoned a phase warrior, didn't I? Sorry, this is going off the rails, but I need to figure out what the heck just happened. Yep, phase knight. Definitely summoned, right? And then I'm trying to withdraw it, and I'm trying to put it in my party. What if I go here? What if I go to fuse? Face paladin. Do I just not hang on? Do I just not have a phase warrior in my party? Do I need to? Do I need to get a new one at the candle? Huh. We're still getting our defense in every battle, so at least there's that. That's assuming our guy goes first, which... Our leftmost guy goes first, which seems to not always be happening. Might need to do something about that. Might need to fiddle around with their relative speed. Agile creatures are a bit of a nuisance against this party. Just because we are still a little bit squishy. Oh, no. It put it in our party. It put it in our party because our party wasn't full. I am the biggest idiot. Oh god, I'm sure there are people yelling at me. The phase knight is in our party because our party wasn't full. So it didn't go into our menagerie. It went directly. It went directly in our party. I am a dum-dum. Well, now that we're in this realm, I guess let's find a buried treasure. 4 buried treasures, I'll be honest. Probably not happening. But we'll pick them up when we find them. We'll pick them up as we find them. Alright. So we gotta go home, we gotta make some changes. Because we gotta give our phase warrior some extra traits. Because I think our blight is strong enough that I'm happy to just call that good. But what we need to do now is start building a second way of dealing damage. No. Is it close by? Yeah, it's close enough. I'll pick it up just to get a bit of extra favor, and I guess I'll talk to the real dwarf as well. Why not? Gorgon Temple was Genros. Okay. So yeah, let's head back home. Let me rectify my mistake. And we're gonna go in and we're gonna fight a false god next realm. Hilariously enough. I think. Yeah, we're gonna take this party against the Lost Construct. We're probably gonna lose, but the idea is just to see what happens. Just to see what happens. So, what other trait materials do I need? I need, there's a trait called Careful What You Wish For. But I think that's gonna go on on our spellcasting creature. Somebody who can do a lot of spell damage. So let's go. To our. No, before we do anything, let me just go to my list of traits. Are there any traits that we need, like, right now, before we start putting in other things? So there's a trait called retrograde, and then there's a trait called careful what you wish for. What does retrograde do? Creatures with blighted receive more healing from all sources. I hope that translates to more damage. I think percentage. It should apply to percentage healing because it literally does say all sources, which should include the percentage healing of fermented hops. But my suspicion is that it's not gonna be. That's not gonna be the. I don't need boost. I need a helmet. Let's upgrade this helmet. The trick was called. Have I upgraded all the way? I don't think I have. No. So what was the trait material called for retrograde? Rescuer hook. Inside this helmet, let's put in a rescuer hook. Let's also put in some just base health. And let's also put in the armor scrap. And let's equip this on you. So now we take less indirect damage, and we do a bit of stuff. So I'm gonna go into this. I'm gonna stupidly raise the realm instability. We're probably gonna get killed, but this is just because we're probably gonna get killed. Extra traits? I don't think so. I don't think so. Well, 387 is pretty bad. But let's go to the arachnid nest, because we can stack debuffs on our enemies. This is gonna be probably where this build goes to die. But this normally would be a realm that we were doing with our excuse me? What is... Oh, they silenced us? Excuse me? Why are we silenced? You know what? That's a damn good question. Why are we silenced? Make you immune to attack damage? Sure, let's see if we can just indirect damage you to death. Scorned this time. Yeah, when we're silenced, it's a pretty bad thing. Hang on a second. What if I go to my anointments? Isn't there an anointment? A Kabbalist anointment that makes you immune to silence? Or was it something else? Oh no, I think it was Evoker? I think it might have been the Evoker ultimate perk. Give you more speed, sure. Crit, sure. Okay. 3 debuffs, sure. I should have taken Greater Dispel. But this is how we're learning about what we need to put in our build. Although, you know, yeah, why are we... Who is... Hang on, who is... The fucking Nyx fusion, that's what's happening. The Nyx fusion is what's ruining everything. I mean, we're not summoning anybody at the candle, we're definitely not. You know what? We get extra health out of this. Okay, yeah. This is a bit of a problem. I mean, to be fair, this is like a really bad fusion for our enemies to have. Like, horrendously bad, given that we are a very much one-trick party. And to have enemies that can just completely take away our one... Yeah. And I forgot to level up my, Now, if we're silenced in this battle, I think it's over for us. Okay. Got through that. Much to my amazement. Alright. We're not using any of our class perks. I should remind you. We're not using any relics. I should remind you that as well. What the fuck are you guys doing? Oh, vortexes. Yeah, sure. Let's just have a vortex fight for no reason. Alright, well... Hashtag YOLO. Okay. Okay. We, I think we can call this a success. A very pleasing X shape on this Rune of Prophecies. So, obviously we've got to take her. I nearly walked away without picking up our anointment. So, this party has a lot of holes, obviously. We have no way of... Rune of Core. Start battles defending. That could be a good way to farm defend. But it's also a huge waste of an anointment. Last stand, maybe? Yeah, let's say last stand. Good amount of reputation, alright. So with that, I think we're gonna call this episode good. We're not done. By no means are we done with this party, but we got the important part of our build ironed out. Like, this is a party that can quickly clear realms, and it can also, if it gets lucky, take out false gods on Instability 5. And we didn't even have all of our debuffs. That was I've got to admit, that was not what I was expecting. I was expecting us to get wiped by the false god. I was expecting some thing in this fight to be immune to indirect damage, and then, you know, I was expecting a bunch of nonsense to happen. But, you know what? A win is a win. Let's take out this enemy. Let's go home. And let us set ourselves up for next week, where we are going to continue with this party. We're going to try and make it better. We're going to try and make it stronger. We're going to we're not going to be able to make it much faster, but there are some things we can do. So with our with these two, I need their speed to be reduced. So let me use some field items. More health, less speed, I guess. More health, less speed. Is that not enough? Is that... Oh, it's probably on page 2. Relaxation. I'll use on you. Relaxation I'll use on you. And we also had to level up the... Phase Knight. And let's update, well, let's first of all get a new bounty. I'm just gonna go after Saint Althea again. Is she immune to blight? I guess we'll find out. I guess we'll find out. And we will end by updating our thing. Assign this here. Now we have a Phase Knight in our party, and our Phase Knight still has one extra trait that he can acquire via fusion, and then we have a 6th creature that we don't even have. The 6th creature is going to be my damage dealing creature, but I'm gonna have to figure out a different way that with just a small number of traits, can I output a large number of damage, ideally area of effect damage? That's gonna be the question that we're gonna try and answer on Monday's episode. But I think this experiment was definitely a success. We built a party that's very strong, that because it does percentage damage, it doesn't even need to buff, and can even kill false gods on turn 1. But the problem is it has a lot of holes and no way to do non-blight damage. That's going to be something that we'll try to fix on Monday. For now though, let's reflect on what we accomplished. We didn't really get any achievements, but we did get some more realms cleared as the Dream Shade. So we're slowly making progress on that. We also didn't find any rare masters, but we will, you know, we'll see what happens. we'll try and figure that out next week. For now, though, like I said, it's gone pretty good. Hopefully it continues. And until Monday, take care.